There is something deeply comforting about walking into a home where the air feels gentle, clean, and familiar. Sometimes it is the bright freshness of citrus in the kitchen. Sometimes the calm of lavender in a quiet bedroom. Sometimes the warm smell of laundry drying in the sun. For many older adults, that kind of atmosphere brings back memories of Sunday family dinners, a porch filled with summer air, or the soft scent of pie cooling after church. Yet when we step into our own homes today, the air may not greet us in the same way. We clean, we spray, we light a candle, and still the house can feel heavy. That heaviness is not failure. It is simply that no one ever taught us how to build lasting freshness into daily life. In this video, I will share 8 gentle habits that ask very little effort, but bring great peace. They will help you feel proud of your home again, whether you live alone or with family, because your home still deserves to smell like care, comfort, and dignity. And so do you. Habit 1. The morning air reset. There is a quiet kind of magic that happens in the early hours of the day, when the world feels calm and the light is softer. That same freshness can live inside your home if you let it. The truth is, the air indoors often grows tired. Overnight, it gathers little bits of yesterday, cooking smells, the dampness from the bathroom, even the faint scent of closed doors and windows. By the time you wake, the air can feel heavy without you realizing it. Think of the mornings you once spent on the porch with a cup of coffee, or how it felt to step outside on a cool spring day and take that first deep breath. Your home deserves that same breath of life. Ventilation is not just about moving air. It is about letting your space wake up with you. When the air flows, the heaviness lifts. It is like giving your home a small reset every single day. You do not need to open every window in the house or spend energy walking from room to room. Even 1 or 2 windows cracked open for 10 minutes can change the atmosphere. If you have windows across from each other, open them both just a little. That creates a gentle cross breeze that carries out the stale air and brings in new lightness. If the weather is cold, you can still do this for a few minutes without discomfort. The freshness lingers long after the window is closed. I once had a neighbor named Ruth, well into her 70s. Each morning she would sit by her kitchen window with her tea, letting the air drift through. She said it made her whole house feel alive again, like a friend stretching after a good rest. She did not treat it as a chore, but as a ritual. That is the secret. To see it not as one more thing on a list, but as a gift you give to yourself and your home. If your body feels stiff, you can simply sit in your favorite chair near the open window. Let the breeze touch your skin. Breathe deeply and imagine the heaviness leaving with the moving air. This is not about perfection. It is about presence. Even 5 minutes of intentional ventilation can transform how the space feels. Tiny step today. Tomorrow morning, before breakfast, open 1 window. Stand nearby, breathe in, and let your home breathe with you. Habit 2. Soft fabrics, hidden smells. Fabrics carry more than comfort. They carry memories, warmth, and often smells that we do not realize. Curtains, rugs, blankets, the pillow on your favorite chair. These are like soft sponges, soaking up the air around them. Over time, they hold on to scents from meals, pets, or just the passing of days. Even if your counters shine and your floors sparkle, your home may still feel a little stale because the fabrics are whispering yesterday's air back into the room. I remember visiting my mother's house after she had cooked stew for Sunday dinner. The dishes were washed, the floor was swept. Yet days later, the couch still carried a faint smell of onions. It was not dirt, it was fabric. That is the quiet secret of textiles. They keep the past close whether we want them to or not. The good news is, you do not need to drag heavy curtains to the washer every week. Gentle habits are enough. Sprinkle baking soda on a chair cushion or rug. Let it sit for 20 minutes, then vacuum it away. The baking soda lifts the old scents out like a quiet refresh, You can also mist a blanket or set of curtains with water mixed with a few drops of essential oil. Lavender brings calm. Eucalyptus feels crisp. Orange brightens a room. The scent clings lightly to the fibers and lingers, greeting you each time you sit down. Another tender trick is to rotate which fabric you refresh each week. 1 week focus on pillow covers, the next week on the throw blanket by your chair. This way you never feel overwhelmed, and slowly the whole home feels lighter. Think of it as tending a garden. Small, steady care rather than one big effort. When your fabrics are fresh, the entire house feels as if it can breathe again. Sitting in your chair becomes more peaceful. Wrapping yourself in a blanket feels like a kind gesture instead of a reminder of old air. The calm is not just in the scent, but in knowing you cared for something quietly important. Tiny step today. Choose one soft item in your home, a pillow, a throw, or a blanket, and give it a gentle refresh. That single action can change the feeling of the whole room. Habit 3. The vinegar secret nobody talks about. Vinegar may not sound like a friend at first. Its sharp scent can wrinkle the nose. But here is the quiet truth. White vinegar is one of the most powerful and gentle ways to clear odors from your home. It does not cover up smells the way sprays do. Instead, it dissolves them at the source. After it dries, the sharpness fades and what remains is clean, neutral air. My grandmother in Ohio always kept a small jar of vinegar behind the sink. She said it made her kitchen smell as clean as Sunday morning after church. I never believed her until I tried it myself. One night, I placed a bowl of vinegar near the trash can. By morning, the sour food smell that usually lingered was gone. Not covered, not hidden, gone. You do not need much. A small bowl or jar placed near the source of odor works quietly while you sleep. Behind the trash can, under the sink, near the laundry basket, anywhere the air feels heavy. By morning, the space feels lighter, almost like the house took a breath overnight. You can also use vinegar as a gentle cleaner. Mix equal parts vinegar and water in a spray bottle. Add a few drops of lemon, lavender, or peppermint oil if you like. Use it to wipe counters, tables, or bathroom tiles. Not only does it clean, but it leaves behind a subtle freshness that feels natural rather than artificial. Another simple trick is to soak cotton balls in the mixture and place them inside drawers, cabinets, or even behind furniture. They release a soft freshness without anyone noticing where it comes from. Vinegar is humble. It is inexpensive, easy to find, and requires no heavy lifting. Yet the effect it has is remarkable. When used regularly, it creates a background of quiet cleanliness. People may not be able to name the scent, but they will notice the air feels better, lighter, kinder. Tiny step today. Pour a little vinegar into a small bowl tonight. Place it near your sink or trash. In the morning, notice how much fresher the space feels. Habit 4. Clean with scent, not after. Imagine two neighbors living on the same street. Both of them take pride in keeping their kitchens tidy. One of them, Mary, is 72 years old. She grew up believing that cleaning meant using the strongest smelling products, the ones that promised to kill 99.9% of germs. After wiping down her counters, she often sprays the air with something floral from the store, hoping it will cover the sharp chemical smell. The other neighbor, George, is 75. He cleans more simply. He keeps a small spray bottle filled with water, vinegar, and a few drops of lemon oil. As he wipes his table after breakfast, the soft brightness of citrus fills the room. By the time he puts the cloth away, the kitchen feels fresh and calm, not forced. Both homes are clean, but the experience is different. Mary's kitchen feels sharp, like something added after the work was done. George's kitchen feels natural, as if the air itself was part of the cleaning. This contrast shows us something important. We do not need to work harder or spend more. We only need to change the way we think about scent. Many of us were taught that fragrance comes after the chores, like a final bow on top of a long performance. But when you build scent into the process, every step becomes lighter. Cleaning is no longer just about scrubbing away dirt. It becomes a ritual that refreshes the air as you go. This is not about turning housework into something glamorous. It is about turning it into something gentle, something soothing, something that gives back to you while you give care to your home. The recipe is simple. Mix equal parts water and white vinegar in a bottle. Add 10 to 15 drops of your favorite essential oil. Lemon and orange bring brightness. Lavender is calming. Peppermint gives clarity. Use it on counters, door handles, tables, or even inside the fridge. When you mop, add a few drops of oil directly into the warm water. Suddenly, the task that once felt heavy carries a reward. Each stroke releases a pleasant scent that stays with you long after the floor dries. For older adults who may not have the same energy as before, this shift is powerful. Instead of waiting until everything is spotless and then spraying fragrance, you get to enjoy comfort during the process. Even a small effort, like wiping the kitchen table, becomes a moment of peace. Your body may be tired, but your spirit feels lifted by the gentle scent rising around you. Over weeks and months, these small rituals shape the identity of your home. Guests may walk in and say, "It feels so fresh here," without realizing it is because the freshness is built into the fabric of your daily life. More importantly, you will notice it yourself. The air will not feel heavy. It will carry quiet comfort, reminding you that you are still in control, still caring, still worthy of a space that feels like yours. Tiny step today. Mix a small spray bottle with water, vinegar, and lemon oil. Keep it on the counter. The next time you clean even one surface, let the gentle scent remind you that your effort matters. Habit 5. The invisible corners of comfort. When I was younger, I knew an older gentleman named Frank who lived alone after his wife passed. His house was simple, nothing fancy, but the moment you walked through his front door, you felt at ease. The air was warm, soft, and welcoming, never overpowering, never heavy. One afternoon, I asked him what his secret was. He leaned back in his rocking chair, smiled, and said, "It is the corners you do not see." Frank had a quiet habit. He would take small cotton balls, drop a bit of vanilla, lavender, or orange oil on them, and hide them in unexpected places, behind the books on the shelf, inside the drawer of his nightstand, beneath the cushion of his favorite armchair. He called them his little helpers. These invisible corners carried fragrance through the house, not loudly, but in whispers. Every time the air moved, a gentle wave of comfort drifted out. I still remember opening his linen closet one day. Instead of stale fabric, I was greeted with the soft smell of rosemary and dried flowers. Frank had tucked a homemade sachet between the towels. It was nothing more than a small cloth pouch filled with lavender and orange peels. Yet, it transformed the closet into a place of freshness. He told me he made one sachet each month as a way of remembering his wife, who had loved her herb garden. That is the beauty of this habit. It can carry memory as well as comfort. For many of us, scent has always been tied to moments. Christmas cookies baking, Sunday dinners, the smell of cedar when opening a hope chest. By hiding small fragrance points around the home, you can bring those memories back without effort. You do not need plug-in machines or heavy candles. A single cotton ball, hidden and forgotten, can quietly remind you of better times. This practice is not about showing off to guests. In fact, most people will never see the little corners, but they will feel them. And so will you. It is about turning ordinary spaces into silent companions. A drawer that once smelled of old wood now greets you with lavender. A closet that once felt stuffy now opens with brightness. Tiny step today. Take one cotton ball, place a single drop of oil on it, and hide it behind your favorite chair or in a drawer. Let it surprise you later like a soft whisper saying, "This home still cares for you." Habit 6. Citrus, the sunshine scent. Picture a hot July afternoon. Many years ago, children run through sprinklers on the lawn, laughter filling the air. On the porch sits a pitcher of lemonade, beads of condensation dripping down the glass. Inside the kitchen, someone peels an orange, and the bright, sharp scent bursts into the room like a ray of sunshine. That is the gift of citrus. It is not just a smell, it is a feeling. It lifts the mood, brightens the day, and turns even the heaviest atmosphere into something lighter. Citrus is one of the most powerful natural tools for refreshing a home. Yet most of us toss the peels into the trash without a second thought. What if, instead, we saw them as little treasures? Place orange or lemon peels in a pot of water with a cinnamon stick or a few cloves. Let it simmer slowly on the stove, and within minutes, your home fills with warmth and joy. Long after the stove is turned off, the scent lingers in the air, like summer captured in your living room. If you prefer something simpler, dry the peels and place them in small bowls around the house. On the bathroom counter, by the kitchen sink, or near the nightstand, they quietly release freshness for days. Mix them with baking soda, and they become a natural deodorizer for tricky spots like the trash can or laundry room. Another way is to create your own citrus spray. Combine water, a little rubbing alcohol, and several drops of lemon or orange oil in a spray bottle. Use it on curtains, sheets, or just in the air. It is light, cheerful, and avoids the heavy artificial smell of store products. Science even supports what our memories already know. Studies show citrus scents can reduce stress, sharpen focus, and lift mood. For older adults, that can mean easier mornings, calmer afternoons, and more restful evenings. It is not about masking odors. It is about carrying a little piece of sunshine into your daily life. The next time you peel an orange, think of it not as waste, but as a gift. Place the peel in a bowl by your sink. Let its brightness fill the room. A simple act, almost effortless, can make your home feel alive again. Tiny step today. Save one citrus peel. Place it where you will notice it tomorrow. Let its cheerful scent remind you that beauty often hides in the simplest things. Habit 7. Turning trash into freshness. Why is it that a single trash can, no bigger than a kitchen stool, can overpower the whole house with one bad smell? We spend so much effort keeping our living room tidy, our kitchen sparkling, our bathroom neat, but one overlooked bin can undo it all. The truth is simple. Trash is not just trash. It is a constant source of scent, for better or worse. And if left unattended, it can change the entire atmosphere of your home. Now think about this. Would you ever leave food scraps on your picnic table overnight at a 4th of July barbecue? Of course not. You know by morning it would smell sour and attract pests. Yet inside the home, many of us do exactly that when we leave kitchen trash overnight. By morning the odor clings to the walls and the air, and even if you empty it later, the heaviness lingers. The good news is that turning trash from problem to opportunity does not require heavy scrubbing or expensive tricks. It starts with one small habit. Clean the bin itself. Once a week, rinse it with hot water mixed with vinegar and a few drops of lemon oil. Let it dry completely before adding a new bag. This one act removes the bacteria that cling to the plastic and cause odors to linger. Next, treat the bottom of the bin as your ally. Place a folded paper towel or a piece of cardboard at the base. Sprinkle baking soda over it, then add a few drops of peppermint, lemon, or tea tree oil. This simple layer absorbs moisture and quietly spreads freshness. Every time you open the lid, Instead of being greeted by a sour smell, you get a faint, clean note. If you want to take it further, tape a cotton pad with a drop of essential oil to the underside of the lid. Out of sight, out of mind, but every time the lid opens, a soft burst of scent greets you. It is such a small detail, but it sends a powerful message. Even the least pleasant part of the home deserves care. And finally, the nightly routine. Never leave trash overnight, especially if it contains food scraps. Make it a closing ritual, like turning off the lights or locking the door. Step outside for a moment, breathe the evening air, and know you are leaving heaviness outside instead of letting it rest in your kitchen. This is not about perfection. It is about dignity. A home that smells fresh tells you that you still matter, that every corner of your life is worth attention, even the ones no one else sees. Tiny step today. Before going to bed tonight, empty your kitchen trash, even if it is not full. Wake up tomorrow to a kitchen that greets you with lightness instead of heaviness. Habit 8. The nighttime scent ritual. Think back to the evenings of your younger years. Maybe it was Christmas Eve when the house glowed softly with lights and the smell of cookies lingered long after the oven was off. Or maybe it was a summer night at the lake when the open windows carried in the fresh scent of water and pine. Those nights had a way of settling into your heart, making you feel safe and cared for as you drifted to sleep. Today, you can recreate that same sense of peace with a gentle nighttime scent ritual. It does not take much energy. It does not demand expensive tools. It is about sending a quiet message to yourself and your home. The day is done. Rest is welcome. Tomorrow will begin in freshness. Start by opening a window for just 5 minutes before bed. Even in winter, a brief exchange of air replaces the heaviness of the day with something new. Close it again, and notice how the room feels lighter already. Then prepare your bed with a soft fragrance. Mist your pillow and sheets with a simple linen spray. Water mixed with lavender or chamomile oil. These scents have been known for centuries to calm the body and ease the mind. If sprays are not your preference, tuck a small sachet of dried lavender or rose petals inside your pillowcase. As your head rests and the warmth of your body rises, the scent releases slowly, carrying you into rest. Another option is to use a diffuser on a short timer. Let it run for 30 minutes after you fall asleep with a calming blend like lavender and bergamot or mint and eucalyptus. It is like a lullaby in the air, fading gently as you drift deeper into sleep. For those who enjoy candles, light one for 10 minutes before turning out the lights. Choose something grounding like sandalwood, cedar, or vanilla. Blow it out before bed. And let the lingering scent signal to your senses that the day is ending and peace has arrived. This ritual is not about creating a perfect showpiece bedroom. It is about creating an atmosphere that greets you kindly at the end of every day. It is about turning your home into a gentle companion that says, "You have done enough. Rest now. You are cared for." The real beauty comes in the morning. When you wake, the room already feels fresh. You do not rush to cover odors or worry about stale air. Instead, you are greeted with the quiet comfort of having prepared the space with love the night before. Tiny step today. Tonight, choose one simple act. Open a window for 5 minutes, mist your pillow, or light a candle for 10 minutes. Let the night carry you gently into rest, the way holiday evenings and summer nights once did. My friend, you do not need to do all 8 habits at once. You do not need to make your home perfect. What matters is that you still care. That care alone is enough. Each small act, a window opened, a pillow misted, a trash can emptied, becomes a gentle way of saying, "This space matters. I matter." Over time, these tiny choices bring lightness into the air and peace into your days. Your home does not have to be large or filled with people to feel beautiful. It only needs to carry the quiet dignity of your presence. Tonight, pick one simple step. Tomorrow, notice how different the air feels. You are doing better than you think, and you still deserve to live in a space that greets you with comfort and pride. May your mornings be fresh, your evenings restful, and your home a place of peace every single day.